Hello everyone, welcome back to CodeSkwela, and we are now on another project. And for today we are going to build a Postman clone with Blazor. And so this will be my first update for this one, and I'm gonna continue giving away or giving updates in the next few days once I start uh, having or putting out additional features and functions for this application. But I think hopefully it shouldn't take that long for me to finish this project. But let's jump right into it. So what is Postman? So if you've been working for quite a while or for some time with web APIs, there's a big chance that you have come across this Postman application. So Postman is a tool that allows you to make uh, API calls to whatever web API there is out there. So basically, what you do is you just sign up on uh, register for an account on Postman, and from there you can start testing out web APIs. So this one, if you can see my screen, I've already signed up to this Postman account, and then I've already have it on my browser, but I think you can have the desktop version of this one, which you can download on Postman and have it available on your machine as a desktop application. But anyway, the basic thing that you can do with this one is you can specify an endpoint. So in this case, this is its basic UI. So it has several important parts in it. The first one is this box here where it allows you to enter or specify the endpoint, and then it allows you to select what kind of verb you are going to use. Basically, you have these common verbs that are available for you. You have the get, post, put, patch, delete, head, and options. And then you have this button on the right that allows you to send or make a request to that endpoint. Okay. So this one I have already an example here. So this is an endpoint coming off from this site. So this is some Polish bank. So they have their free APIs that you can use, so you can get data about different currencies. Okay, so I've tried this one with this endpoint, and if you set it here and then click send, of course you have to specify the get type of request first. Then if you click send, you should be able to get a return on the bottom part of this application. So as you can see, it returned a JSON result. Also, this is now what I am going to build out of Blazor. So you as from the name suggests, it's a clone made out of Blazor. And so I have already started working on this and have an initial layout of the application. So this is now your Blazor Postman clone. Okay, and so I've set up the initial layout for this one. Again, you have your uh, three two inputs, so specifying the type, request, or the verb type. In this case, we have only two for now. I will be adding the rest if given the chance that I have later on. But yeah, for now, I just have get and post, and then this text box here that allows you to specify the URL or endpoint, and then the button send that sends the request to that endpoint. So okay, so you have your middle part here wherein you have three different sections in the middle part. So you have your params, which allows you to specify parameters or what you call query string. And then you also have headers here that allows you to specify the different headers that you want to add in your request. And then the body would be if you have or you want to pass in a payload or data to your endpoint, uh, commonly used when you are doing a post request. Okay, then you add it in the text box here. Okay, and then at the bottom, as you can see, you have your response here. So this would be the showing the output of the request. Okay, so let's say you want to let's say make a simple request. Okay, let's do that one that we did here in the Postman app. Then let's just click send, and the result, as you can see at the bottom, or the response is being displayed at the bottom. So this one is a JSON result. Okay, so let's dig into the code. The code isn't that much, but yeah, it's quite basic really. So you have this send method, which is the main method that gets called when you click on the send button here. So you have your simple validation here just to make sure that the URL is set here. So we would require you to add a URL. And then from there, you have your switch statement here, which uh, compares against the HTTP verb. So the HTTP verb here, this field here is mapped against our mod select component, which is this one that has an option for you to either get or post request. Okay, going back. So depending on the selected verb, it will either perform a get request here or a post request. Now for the post one, let's go first with the get request method. So the actual get request method here is this one. So it's basically very simple. You use the HTTP client to make the call. So in this case, we just read as a string. First, we call the get async method, passing in the URL, and then from there we can now extract the contents of the request via this read as string async, and then we return it back, which is gets assigned in our response content, which is again displayed in our section at the bottom part here. Okay, so the HTTP client is coming off from our HTTP client, which is an existing feature of as part of Blazor. So to get access to this one, first you need to add this or inject it in your uh, dependency injector. So it's as simple as adding this line here. So services that add HTTP client, and now it will now become available to any of your components so long as you use this at inject call. Okay, all right. So with the post request one, so I've had it added here. With this one, it's quite uh, very crude for now. So this is the data. The body is hard coded. So I'm making a call to this endpoint here. So this is the REST API that I've used for this one as an example, coming up from RESTful API API.dev using the public endpoint. Then you can follow this one, uh, the post action. Okay, so you just pass in the body in this form in JSON format. Then from there, you can make a call and make a post. So what I did with the post request method is that first I compose my request, okay, via this HTTP request message object. And so I specify the method coming off from our selection here, okay. And then the request URI, again from our text box, and then the content would be in the form of a string content, okay, a type of HTTP content. And then from there, once we've composed our request message, we can then pass it to our HTTP client using the send async method. Okay, so I think that's mostly the content for the post request. It's quite simple, really. You can just follow along this code, and yeah, there's still much to do with this one. So what's missing here is that letting the user add parameters. Okay, so in this case, so if you observe, going back to Postman, if you observe, you can add parameters in, I think there's two ways. You can specify it here, like doing like this. You know, the query string, the way of adding query string parameters is you do the question mark and then you add your key value pairing. Okay, so let's say you have this one category, then you specify the value. Okay, as you notice, as you type in the uh, query string here, you notice that the query params at the bottom here gets added also. Okay, every time you add, like if you add another parameter, let's say like that, then it will also get added as query params here at the bottom. So that's one way of adding. The other way would be setting it here on this query params table. So for example, uh, like that, okay, then setting the value. Notice that on the URL text box, it will also get added. Okay, so there's two ways you can add it, either via the query params table here, or straight up typing it inside the text, the URL box. Okay, so that's one thing that I will be doing uh, later. So hopefully it doesn't it's not that complicated to do that. So yeah, there's several tricky stuff here that we need to do to get this one functioning like this here in our own application. Okay, and if I do get it working, then I will move on to adding the headers and then the body. Okay, so it will give us much more flexibility on our application to make different kinds of calls. Okay, so I think that's what want to discuss for this one. So let's wrap it up for now. And yeah, I think yeah, that pretty much covers what I want to discuss for this update. Okay, so please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. And yeah, I hope to see you soon and have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye.